This episode reflects on childbirth, motherhood, and moments of joy that exist even within difficult relationships. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. This is episode 34. After everything that had come before it, the exhaustion, the chaos, the constant pressure of life, my third pregnancy had been surprisingly calm. No severe sickness, no constant vomiting like before. Just exhaustion. Working full-time, raising two busy boys, running a household. But compared to my previous pregnancies, this one felt manageable. And at the end of it all, I was about to meet the child I had secretly hoped for. My daughter. When the time came, the delivery was actually very smooth. Compared to my previous births, this one felt almost easy. The epidural worked, the labor progressed the way it was supposed to, and for the first time out of my 3 deliveries, I didn't need stitches. Which felt like a small victory. Except, of course, the joke still had to be made. During the delivery, he leaned over towards the doctors and said the same joke he had made before. The one about adding extra stitches. Except this time, it just wasn't one doctor hearing it. There were nurses, the doctor, and student residents. And the room went quiet in that uncomfortable way that happens when someone says something that isn't funny, but they think it is. No one laughed. No one encouraged it. They just kept doing their jobs. By this point in my life, I didn't even react. I didn't roll my eyes. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. Because in that moment, I had something much more important to focus on. They placed her in my arms, and everything else faded into the background. My girl. My daughter. My princess. After 2 boys, holding a daughter felt like an entirely new chapter. She was tiny, perfect, and I couldn't stop looking at her. When you have a newborn placed in your arms, time does something strange. The world keeps moving, but you stop. And you just look at their little fingers, their eyelashes, the way their face changes when they stretch. I was completely in love. Of course, I spent that night alone in the hospital. But honestly, I expected that. Why would it be any different this time? And strangely, I didn't mind. Because that night felt like it belonged to just the 2 of us. My baby girl and me. We barely slept. I was in a semi-private room, and the other patients snored all night long. Loud. Constant. But it didn't bother me, because I wasn't really trying to sleep. I was studying my daughter. Every inch of her. Her tiny hands, her cheeks, her little noises. I was memorizing her. For that one night, everything felt quiet. All the stress, all the tension, all the complicated parts of my life faded into the background. Because when I looked into her eyes, nothing else mattered. For that moment, I wasn't thinking about the problems in my marriage. I wasn't thinking about responsibilities waiting for me at home. I wasn't thinking about the tension that always seemed to live in the background of my life. All I felt was love. The kind of love that makes the rest of the world disappear. Looking back now, I realized something. That night was one of the few moments in my life where everything felt simple. Just me and my daughter. No expectations, no criticism, no pressure. Just a mother holding her baby. And for those hours in the hospital room, I allowed myself to stay in that feeling completely. When I brought my daughter home, life became even fuller. 3 children, 3 little lives, 3 people who depended on me for everything. And while I believed at that time that our family was finally complete, the challenges in my marriage hadn't disappeared. They had just been quiet for a moment. And as I would soon learn, quiet doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes it's just the calm before something else begins. This is After the Quiet. Please remember to subscribe to this podcast and share it with others who might need to hear my story. And also join me on Instagram at after.the.quiet. If you recognize parts of my story in your own, please reach out to someone who can give you support, or look for that support in your community. You are not weak for needing help. You are human. Your voice deserves to be heard.